نحمد ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. There was a time when Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, he did not have a son. He's the prophet that all the religions at this point come from, right? At this point. And he's revered in each one of them. But there was a time when he did not have any progeny. And it wasn't until 86 years old, approximately, is when he got his firstborn, Ismail alayhi salam. And that was after so many years of yearning, dua, that Allah Azza wa Jal gave him this treasure. So you can imagine how much he must have loved him, clearly. And when they turn into teenagers, that's something different. But when they're young, when they're 1-2 years old, you've seen how much a dad or a mother loves the kid, because they're completely dependent on them. When he's about 1 year, not even 1 year old, younger than that, he is commanded. And he takes that young kid and his mother, Hajar alayhi salam, and they start walking from Syria. And they take a journey about 1,500 miles towards Makkah. So other than the emotional conflict here, just think about the physical endurance that a person would need. This is not our hiking trails. This is 1,600 miles of scorching desert, desolate, where you don't know if you're going to make the journey or not. And you're making it with your family. And every step of the way, he knows what he's going to be doing. He hasn't revealed it to the wife yet. But what is he being commanded to do? Leave them. So that takes about 40-50 days, I would assume. And he's making that journey. And afterwards, he gets to the valley, the desolate plain that we call Makkah now. And then he goes on the lower portion, has them sit near a tree, and starts leaving. Hajar alayhi salam, she calls out to him. She says, Ya Ibrahim, Aina tadhab? Wa anta tatrukuna fi hadha al-wadi alladhi laysa fihi insan, ins wala shay. Oh Ibrahim, where are you going? And then when he doesn't answer, he's walking away. She goes, are you leaving us here? Like in this valley? Where there's, you need two things to survive. You either need company, which can help you, or you need the amenities, the infrastructure. And she goes, neither of those. There's no human presence here, neither the infrastructure. It just doesn't make sense. How are we going to survive? And he has only left them with 2 bags. One filled with dates, the other filled with water, the animal skin. He doesn't reply and he keeps walking. Now this woman, she's intelligent. She understands. She's been with this guy for a while now. She's like, this is not Ibrahim. There's something awry. There's something different that's going on. It can't be his choice. So she changes the framework. From human strategy, she goes to divine decree. And she goes, Allahu amaraka bihada? Has Allah commanded you to do this? And he just says one word. These are his parting words, by the way. He says, Naam. And he keeps walking. Still doesn't turn around. In the hadith, it's very clear. This is a hadith from Bukhari that I'm narrating to you. It's a longer version, but I'm just going to narrate the relevant portion right now. And it even says, وَجَعَلَ لَا يَلْتَفِتُ إِلَيْهَا. He didn't even turn around to look at her. He just said Naam and he kept walking. By the way, why do you think? Why do you think he's not turning around? What's the reason? The hint is in the emotions that I left, we started with. He loves these people. They're his family. What would happen when he turns around and he sees the desperation in her eyes and the kid just, laying there alone? He knows that the resolve might weaken. He's a prophet, but he's still a human. So he doesn't even want to risk it. And how do we know that? when he crosses them and leaves them, oh, by the way, he hasn't left yet. So when she asks him that, when he says Naam, she says something that is very profound as well. Like this is tawakkul on both ends, from Ibrahim alayhi salam and from Hajar alayhi salam. She said, okay, if that is the case, idhan la yudayuna. If that is the case, he is not going to waste us. I know. So he passes them by. And then when they're out of sight, there's a dune in the middle, he turns around and he lets loose. There's an emotional outburst. And then he makes the dua which is in the Quran. He says, Rabbana, oh my Lord, I've left my family. And where have I left them? With you. So inni askantu min zurriyati, not just anybody. I left min zurriyati. They're a part of me. They're my family. I left them. Inda baytikal muharram, with you, at your house, because that's the divine decree that you've been given, that I've been given from you. So they're your guests, basically. Like Ibrahim alayhi salam, he is known for his visions, by the way. Not visions like that, vision like as in visionary, being a visionary. Among the prophets, he's one of the biggest visionaries as well. So you can imagine prophets already being the cream of humanity, and then Ibrahim alayhi salam being the cream of the prophets. So when he says something, it has a lot of implications behind it. So he says, I left them near your house. That means they're your guests. And, since I'm leaving them, why am I leaving them? لِيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ رَبَّنَا لِيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ. Salah also means connection. Now we are going to touch on this, and this is a very strong message that we kind of need to internalize. So they can establish this connection with you. We'll circle back to this connection. And then he says, فَجْعَلْ أَفْئِدَةً مِّنَ النَّاسِ تَهْوِي إِلَيْهِمْ. I'm not going to be there for my kid and child, because I don't know when I'm going to return. I don't know when you will command me to return. I won't be able to give them the support and the love that they need. So you know what? So he asks Allah, turn the hearts of the people towards them so they can actually give them the support and the love that they should be getting from the husband and the father. And then he expands on it, and he goes that وَارْزُقْهُمْ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ. Initially he is saying that there isn't even vegetation in the place. بِوَادٍ غَيْرِ ذِي ذَرٍ. There's not even vegetation in this valley. And he's asking for what? Fruits, which are the most difficult to make. Orchard, that takes the most amount of work and the money. He's making dua. By the way, this dua we can see in Makkah. Any fruit you want to find, anything, not just fruits, anything that you want to eat, you want to find in one place, I would assume that Makkah is probably the place where you'll find it, if nowhere else. So anyways, he makes this dua, and then he leaves. So my question then is, why does Allah want them to be left like this? Like he's commanding a prophet to do something that to a secular mind would seem like reckless endangerment. Like, nobody would ever do this. Why is he commanding him to do that? And that is the connection. We come back to that connection part. So we have a cognitive illusion, a very persistent one, humans in general, that they will always look horizontally for security. Like they will look at the things that are in front of him and around them. They look at their job, they look at the money, they look at the contacts that they have. Unless those are stripped away, they're never going to look vertically. They'll always keep looking horizontally. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He wants to take the horizontal stuff away. So they're forced to look vertically. This is the connection. لِيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ. That is the connection that's being made. There is no other connection there. There's no people, there's no infrastructure, there are no amenities, there's nothing. So now they're building this vertical connection. Why are they building it? That comes way later. Because he's a prophet too, Ismail. He has to leave something and lead a whole nation behind him. So this connection needs to be there. The connection between Ibrahim and Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal wants to build that in his progeny as well. So this is the biggest lesson that we get from him leaving the family over there. So now we get to the conclusion. How do we practice this sunnah? This is Dhul Hijjah, yes? In Dhul Hijjah we said the best way to spend Dhul Hijjah is on the way of the Prophet Ibrahim. That's what Allah Azza wa Jalla has told us. And that's why He has made law the traditions that were left behind by his family. So how do we practice this? What is our horizontal support? The biggest one is very common. Nowadays it's very common. What is it? It's money. So just like Ibrahim alayhi salam, he parted with his horizontal support. Hajar, Ismail, they parted with theirs, alayhi salam. We part with ours. What better way could there be? How do we part with ours? This is important to understand, because there are two parts to tawakkul. We've touched on them on the adhkar, so I don't want to repeat it because, also time. But tawakkul is just very summarily, number one, action of the heart. Number two, action of the limbs, both. Action of the heart is that we know that he is going to provide. Action of the limbs is that we actually take the necessary and essential steps. So even when we are parting from our wealth, this is how we do it. We make a plan, we realize how much we can part with. It should be enough to hurt, by the way. Like for some people, even $50 will hurt. For others, even 1,000 won't. It has to hurt for us to actually feel like we are parting from something that's important, that we need. As long as we can manage our necessities, the luxuries, we can delay them, we can defer them. It's okay. So my plan is this. However, you guys can weigh in on it. I thought maybe we can make those GoFundMe campaigns or something, good launch goodness or something like that. One of those accounts, and we can keep it for Dhul Hijjah. And after we've done the calculations and we can see, okay, this is that I can actually put it in while I'm being a little uncomfortable. We can't just be completely comfortable and put it in. We should be a little uncomfortable. It should be enough for us to be a little uncomfortable. It's going to be anonymous. And at the end, we can see how much we've collected. And then, inshallah, we have an amazing place over here. And, sometimes we take it for granted. By the way, nobody has, just a disclaimer, nobody has told me to do this. Not from the board, not from the Islamic Center, no one. We will, inshallah, we have a lot of projects lined up, inshallah. Not the board, I'm talking about myself and yourselves. So there are a lot of things that we want to do. I have a full project list about it. We will need the funds. We can use them and they'll be the sadaqah jariyah for us. And it's not like we are actually parting with something, we are actually sending it forward. This is what's being conserved. The rest that we use is going to turn into nothingness one day. So we'll conclude with one hadith. By the way, how does the idea sound? Is it something that's doable? Yeah? Okay, so I'll inshallah contact somebody to make the fund. And by the way, congratulations to you guys. A lot of people are watching us on YouTube too now. Initially when we started, I think we had like 3 views per video or something like that. But now there's some videos that have exceeded 100. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. So yes, to you guys too. We will make a QR code. I'll try to link it to the YouTube video or comments or however it's done. I don't know how to do it personally. If somebody does, then they can help me out. If not, then I'll hire somebody. And let's see how it goes, inshallah. We'll conclude with just one hadith, just as a motivation. There was once when Prophet ﷺ, he sacrificed a lamb. And how, his habit was always that he would give it, almost all of it, away. So when it was done, this is coming from Mother Aisha radiallahu anha. She said, "Annahum zabahu shatan." Later on, the Prophet ﷺ asks Mother, he goes, "Ma baqiya minha?" What is left from it after it was given away? She goes, "Ma baqiya minha illa katifuha." So he goes, okay, that's the shoulder part. That's also love from, that's also a signal of love from Aisha. She kept that aside because she knew the Prophet liked them. Like that's the part that he liked the most, the shoulder part. I don't know what it's called. Dr. Muhammad probably knows. But so she kept that aside without telling him because she was going to cook it for him. So when she said that there's nothing left except for this, he goes, no. Actually, baqiya kulluha illa katifuha. What's actually will remain forever is all of the things that we gave away. The shoulders are something that we'll consume and will turn into nothingness. So what we are giving ahead is actually what's being contributed and being, conserved in the bank of Allah Azza wa Jal for our 401k later on. And the things that we use, it's, we're just going to use it for 30, 40, 50 years and then It's going to go away. So may Allah Azza wa Jal actually help us to to practice what we learn. And yeah, we will continue the story. I've tried to arrange the series in such a way that the story continues and we can just take one lesson out of it and practice it. So we'll continue the story inshallah tomorrow. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.